No.
You guys want to see something crazy before we get started?
Is it something we can record and not regret?
Yes, yeah, you'll like this one. We just got this thing
Oh my
yesterday.
gosh.
He is naughty. You're naughty, kid.
Oh, that's you
Uh-oh.
just being a puppy. Come on.
Yeah, he is. Started his training today, but we more got to train the daughter than the dog on this one.
Because then it becomes dad's dog.
What's up, Herostock Nation?
What's up, Herostock Nation? Welcome back to the Roundtable, where heroes talk. Tom Lamog here with Matthew Jones. Hey, Matt. Sir,
What is going on?
Hey, man, we've got a special guest. Today is episode 17, and our special guest we'd like to introduce you to is Rick Yee, who you may have run to over at Herostock. His tent was way in the back. He and his wife were manning their little mobile studio and doing interviews. Well, he's here tonight. He's going to be talking with us not only about some of the interviews that he managed to get a few of those, including myself. Maybe we can talk with him a little bit about the outcome of all of that, what his thoughts were, but more importantly, we're going to talk with him about being a mental health coach, his program, the Warrior's Way Mindset, maybe a little bit about the mission, his life's journey, and some of the resources that he's made available to those types of individuals who are looking for that type of guidance. And I'm thinking a whole lot more. So let's bring Rick on. Rick, good to
What's
see
up,
you,
Warriors?
friend.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. It's an honor.
Hey, you were at Herostock. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did.
Were you able to, get yourself a decent meal and have some conversation and, did the
We
camaraderie?
got coffee and beard oil and got to hang out with people that are worth hanging out with. It was pretty awesome. And
That's
so
what I'm talking about.
yeah, so I was very excited, but there's a lot of great people at Herostock, and I'm looking forward to having even more there, so we can have even more conversations and do some pretty amazing things together.
And we found you in your usual spot, about 100 yards away from all the noise and all the activity. Were you okay out there?
It was fantastic. The only thing we had to do was we had to beat the cicadas, and we figured it out.
Yeah, they get a little noisy compared to the music that was coming out of the pavilion. Rick, I want to introduce you, and then we'll get right into it. It says off your bio, Rick is an influential speaker, a thought leader, and an advocate for personal empowerment and authentic living. With a deep understanding of the human experience, Rick has dedicated his life to helping individuals find their voices and reconnect with their true selves. Now, the Warrior's Way mindset, it's a powerful and transformative approach to life that combines inner strength, resilience, and a commitment to personal growth. It's a philosophy that empowers individuals to embrace challenges, overcome obstacles, and live with unwavering courage, honor, and integrity. I wanted to make sure we set the stage because I have a feeling this coming hour, it's going to get pretty deep.
That was a pretty good intro. Did you write that?
No, you did. It was off your website.
I wrote that? Oh, man. That's some good stuff. I was like, that's pretty accurate. That's really well done.
Like, holy cow.
It's like, wow, this guy sounds awesome. I got to listen to this episode.
I think you should.
So God works amazing. He has his moments that are very, very cool.
Mhm.
And really, I looked at my calendar today. I didn't have anything on my calendar for this. I was just going to jump in. I've got we've got Spirit Side with, I've got a doctorate in theology who runs a group for our group, a Spirit Side group. And they just get into different elements of connection and they're very, Christian as far as like we go through Bible. He's a theologist, and so they know Bible. I got a guy in there who's one guy's a deacon, another guy is he's a pastor for the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like these guys know their stuff. And I like to go in there and I like to be disruptive. Like I like to goof it up a little bit and try and ask the questions and do the stuff that like people are like, well, why, how come Jesus this and why not this and why is the church doing that? And I like to goof them up to make it so people feel like there's a safe spot to be able to ask like real questions to find connection and relationship to God. And so I was like, I was just going to jump on because our girls are at a volleyball game. I got to take care of this puppy. And I was jumping on just to disrupt their group a little bit. And it came up on my calendar to jump in with you guys. And I'm like, you know what? Way better. This
You
is
want it? You'd rather
perfect.
disrupt us.
Well, I really enjoy you, Tom. I really enjoy you guys a lot. And so
Oh,
it makes me
gosh.
very happy to go like, look at how this just played out. I was just going to go and goof with my own guys. And now I get to goof with you guys. This is fantastic. I'm very honored. I'm very happy for
Oh
this
man,
working out exactly this way.
I have to tell you. I mean, I after meeting up with you this last time in Ashland and going through the interview with Andrea, you and Andrea,
Mhm.
and then last year meeting up with you and having this mellow chat, I thought, at what point do I get to interview Rick?
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you
Not that
something. It's intense.
uh,
I'm going to give you
yeah,
some feedback.
yeah.
I
Oh
have been on
gosh.
a lot of podcasts, and I
Oh,
would
oh,
say
yeah.
there's a good number that don't post when I'm on.
They don't post or host.
Posts like they'll do an interview and I'll give them stuff that they're like, we weren't ready for that, and they don't end up
Oh,
posting it because like I'm intense. Like I'm like, let's give
oh,
the real answer, let's tell the truth, let's
yeah.
do real stuff. And I do deep work therapy
Oh,
and
yeah.
counseling and psychology that really challenges the way that it's done today, and it works. My stuff works better than anyone's stuff.
So I wanted to kind of talk with you about the connection between Warriors Way Mindset and Herostock. I wanted to ask you, about the Herostock experience, your observations,
Yeah,
and,
fire off, Tom. Give
and
me anything you got,
yeah,
Tom. I'm ready. Let's do it.
yeah. And also, I am absolutely looking forward to having you talk about the work that you do, the the programs that you have with the Warriors Way Mindset. Highlight some of the things about the podcasts that you do, and it's just going to be pretty much a primer as to who you are. I'm looking at this as an opportunity for you to have the conversation with those who appeared at Herostock but didn't stop by your booth. So you got an elevator speech, maybe you want to share that. You got a deep dive that you want to do, just kind of think about, you've got this person standing in front of you for the next 20 minutes or so, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't know if that's doable, but
No, it's not, but it's fun to try. So
it is. It always has been fun to talk, which is kind of why I'm thinking, this has got to have really not a whole lot of structure to it. And if you decide you want to go deep, then let's go deep. I really would like you to also share your Hero Stock experience, because you did something very unique in that you were interviewing people. And
mhm.
did you get what you wanted out of those interviews?
It's
Or did you go
important.
for that?
It's important to understand why I did that. I did that for a couple of years. Last year, the audio and the sound, because I didn't understand the venue was. I didn't know what type of venue.
Remember, I
That,
remember
that
where
was
you
very
was
very
that first
challenging.
time. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we could use a little bit of it. We couldn't use as much as we wanted to because it was by the stage and it was just overwhelming. We couldn't hear some of the interviews. It was very frustrating. So we learned,
Yeah.
and just like this year, we learned. I only do those interviews for Jason. Those aren't for me at all. And so,
Oh, okay.
I just go out there because I think that I believe in my brothers. I believe in people. I believe in their dreams, and I believe that those who share their dreams with others will share their dreams with others. And that's a heart side thing to say. This means if I have the courage to share my dream with you, you're usually going to start asking and or saying how responses. And what that means is, hey, I have a dream to help a lot of people. And you're like, oh, I know how we could do that. Or I got a guy who knows how that can work. Or I can hook you up with somebody and they know how to get these things all put together for you. And you see how starts showing up afterwards. That
Yeah.
means when I share my dream with you, and now we share our dream in building it. And that's something that Jason and I both did. And so he was sharing his dream with me. And I'm like, well, I know how we could try to make it so more people get to see what you're doing. So I'll just drive down to Nebraska, we'll set up and we'll get some content. And my goal was to make it so that we could stop talking about the concert and start talking about the mission. And that was really the big purpose of why I wanted to get down there, is because so many people think it's a show. And they're like, no, you don't understand. This is a place where, people who serve go, like everybody. And this is where a unity element has to also start coming within the community to make it so I don't care if you're a first responder or you served in the Marines or you were the Army or you were Air Force or you were Navy or you were a police officer, you're a first responder in any capacity. You are a person who serves, and we serve those who serve. And so being able to showcase there's a place where you're allowed to go to be you. You got to take the armor off somewhere. I thought that was important. So I just wanted to make content for Jason so he can use it to help build his dream.
And here's what I got out of your visits. All right. I think that in this day and age, the communications between individuals doesn't always happen naturally. And what I found, what you and Andrea were able to do on quite a number of occasions, is to draw out the individual to kind of like get them to speak up a little bit. And I thought that however many interviews that you did, and I remember seeing about a dozen interviews this year, you have to start the conversation. You have to be the one to extend the offer to let's talk, have a seat. You were very welcoming, but what did you find that communication was something that was flowing a lot easier with the the people who were attending Herostock than any other place that you've been to?
No, people are people everywhere. And so just be human with somebody, be genuine, be authentic, and people will open up.
Yeah.
I think people are starving for authenticity right now. Be real with them and they'll start being more real with you. And if you make it uncomfortable when they're not being real, they'll start being more real or they'll leave.
It really is that cut and dry, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
why do you suppose
I'll
that
open my
why
heart
do
to you to
there
show you
used
how
to
it's
be
done.
maybe a little more patience and understanding? Do you think there's less of that these days?
Give me the context in which you mean. Do you mean like in general, or do you mean like in like this field for
In the search
different
of
communications?
authenticity, as you say, in the search for authenticity. I mean, there are individuals who will kind of, I really don't have time for this. I'm done. Versus, okay, keep talking, keep talking. I don't know that I agree with you. And they engage into a discussion. These days, I don't know if people are less inclined to stay engaged and immediate to just discount and walk away. Has that changed in your perspective over the years, in terms of engagement and tolerance? Uh,
No, I haven't had any. I've had a lot of people on the show. People are generally, especially when they're on any type of first interaction or first meeting,
mhm,
people are usually very open and excited to share their side of the story or share their point of view or perspectives. I
mhm,
haven't run into people who really give me a hard time about it, but
mhm.
I also like it's a really funny thing. I'm usually further ahead in the conversation than the person I'm talking to. And that's not in it's not I'm as a psychologist, I'm already kind of seeing the patterns. I'm kind of getting the idea of your personality type. I kind of see what are the things that are going to move you and what are the things that are going to be like, I can see this is a hot spot for you.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be asking questions to get you to open up about something that's important to you, but not out of a place of being right, but about a place of connecting for a purpose, And so I'll be
Exactly.
looking for
Yeah.
like, what's important to you? Why is this valuable to you? What is the reason behind the reason of that? And getting people to really think introspectively is something that people need to do a lot more. Again, the authenticity element needs to be challenged in order to crack through the shell to go, are you being, or is this really your soul I'm talking to? And most people, and this is the real answer, don't know. They don't know. Like, I've been just pushing my emotions down so long, I don't even know who you're talking to these days. And it's like, yeah, I can see this as a struggle. Let's go ahead and crack into a couple things and let's ask you some real questions that really help you find you so that I can connect to you. And now we can do some pretty great things together. Very rarely do I get pushback. And then when they do want to do pushback,
Mhm.
one of my favorite things to do is like, well, let's go ahead and make your argument as strong as possible until it falls apart. And that's usually what happens when I'll go, oh, okay, maybe you're right. Let's see what happens if we use it. Let's do it. And then it starts to crumble as soon as we say it out loud. They're like, maybe I don't have it together. I'm like, we should probably not be telling people what to do if it's not working.
It sounds to me that you have traveled great distances in your own experience with the human experience, if you will, in order to be able to take that perspective and really comment and even guide the individual towards something that might be better than what they arrive at. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? If you traverse some pretty dark roads from what I can tell on your bio.
I've gone to layers and levels of hell that people don't know exist.
Mhm.
So if you want to ask me a very direct question, I promise you I'll give you a very direct answer. But if you go like, how many layers of hell are there? I'm like, you're not going to understand that answer. But give me something like, what about it? People who have gone to this thing, give me something that you do know of, and I'll show you what that's like. I'm happy to.
Why beat around the bush?
Well,
Rick's
what's a
going to tell
like?
him.
Just give me like I want to know about this. And I'm like, ask me anything.
I gotta say
Anything.
that I love the expression you used where you said an environment where you can take the armor off. And because I've been kind of in that environment where, I was going out to do something I had never done before, really stepping outside of my comfort zone. And one of the first things I was taking with me was armor. Like I didn't want to rub elbows. I didn't want to network or connect with people. I wanted to stay in my own bubble. And being self-aware enough to kind of read the room and read the environment, I was able to determine like I don't need this armor. And so you take it off, and then you open up to people and it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do without these people, like these people are awesome. So I
Yeah.
love that expression, that take the armor off.
Yeah, even the Warriors Way mindset. It's in section 3. We train armor training and the ways that we protect ourselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And we talk about the ways like how do I keep my defenses up against certain, conversations, attacks, being triggered, those kinds of things. And it's a very important thing to know when to wear it, when not to wear it. And Matthew, like I'm sure you've been in some pretty difficult situations as a protector. I see a lot of my Marines, a lot of my armies, a lot of my soldiers that I work with, where they'll have this like Jason Bourne like awareness, where they're like check count the exits, memorizing lessons placed, don't look at this, at least looking over here, who's this guy? Like
Yeah.
everything's like you're on like I'm ready to get everybody all the time. And I said it's a really interesting thing. I remember I was working with this one Marine one time who had some severe trauma. He actually was killed in combat and then brought back, and he was messed up from it. And he was like, "How can you turn your back on everybody in this room?" I said, "Let me show you something really cool." I said, if we're out and we're out with the kids and we're out having fun and we're just doing cool things and something pops off, something starts up. Now, usually whenever there's conflict or turmoil or something, there's a buildup. So it's not usually instantaneous, like, red zone. It's usually like people start, it's going to build up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, as it pops off, if you and I are hanging out and something goes on behind me, how long does it take for you to put your armor on? Like, let's say somebody grabs your kid. And they're gonna like, I'm gonna take your kid. Like, how many like minutes does it take for you to go from no armor to like kill mode? Like, how long does it take? Do you
Oh,
have to
I
do like
don't,
a
I
prep
don't know if
time?
I don't even know if I could give you a number fast enough. It's just, it's quick.
It's instant, right? It's almost
Yeah.
instantaneous. And then if you turn it on instantly, how long does it take for me to do it?
Same.
Instantly. We're both going to be like, bam. It's like we switch modes. It doesn't take an hour or 30 minutes or a 5 minute prep talk or anything like that. This is instant, but to put that armor on, it's like Iron Man. You just nanotech that thing on. It's on,
Yeah.
right? Why do I have to walk around with that all day long if it only takes me a second to put it on?
Yeah. Good
You know what I
point.
mean? And so I teach my guys like we're not in conflict right now. We're in connection right now. But if conflict goes down, which is not that common, but if it does, it only takes us a second to put that armor on and get to work. And so it would only take us like within 3 or 4 seconds, you and I are already tagged up on whatever's going on. It didn't take us hours to figure this out. Or I don't have to be in Kung Fu Panda mode all damn day because there is no Kung Fuing that we need to do. But if there is, then we will. And so we can have our armor down, even just in general situations. Doesn't mean we're not aware. It just means I'm not on kill mode,
Yeah.
the whole time, which really lowers the stress of our being able to do things that matter. And this turns into questions that really do matter. Why are you in protection mode or why are you in kill mode? And most people don't know why. Matthew, why would you walk around with like kill mode all day long? Why would we do that?
No, see, I wouldn't. I walk around in protection mode
Good. You're in
because I'm
protection
I'm
mode. Why?
scared of letting people see who I am,
Okay, what
So, and
happens
that's
if
just
people see you? What happens if they see who you are? What happens?
absolutely nothing.
Well, maybe there is a reason. You had a protection system up for a reason. You're not a fool. There's a reason why I have to be guarded. Because if people see who you really are, there was something that was like, this happened before, and I'm not letting that happen again. You're not crazy. So why
Yeah.
would you be in protection mode all the time?
I guess I've never really kind of thought back to as to why I keep doing it.
This is important because we are doing
You
a
know?
behavior. We should be able to know why we're doing it,
Yeah. But like
especially if
the
it's the really
reason the reason it exists today is from something that I can't remember. So why do I keep doing it?
well, fair question. And this gets into belief systems. If I am doing a protection mode for some reason, and I don't know why I'm doing it, this turns into, well, how long does it take to change a belief system of doing a behavior? How long does it take? And so this is a very reassuring thing when I train guys to be able to work through belief systems. It only takes 1 second to change a belief. It doesn't take long at all. As soon as something that you believe is true is just, that's not true. Look. And they're like, they were lying, man. Like, that was a lie. And they're like, Well, I don't believe it anymore. You're like, yeah, it took you that
Yeah.
long to change that. And if you want a more extreme view, I can even give you another one. Let me tell you, like Tom, you've met me and my Andrea. That's my
It
baby.
shows.
And that's my
Yeah.
person. And man, her and I can take on anything at all. Like you bring the world to us, we're fighting the world together. That's my girl, right? Until I come home one day and I catch her in bed with my best friend. How long does it take for that whole belief system to get shattered?
Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Instant. My whole belief, everything that's bulletproof, everything that can, this is all going this way. That's how that works. Undisputed. In 1 second, my entire belief system just exploded. It only took a second to change my mind. All that my whole belief is gone. And this works the same way when it comes to our protection systems, our curses, our parents' stuff, all the stuff we're carrying on with us, the stuff that we went through for traumas. PTSD is just grieving. I teach guys to do it all the time. Why am I in protection mode? Something happened to you. I don't remember what it was. Well, then maybe we don't need something that we don't even know why we have it.
No, I agree. I
So
agree.
so then we work through, okay, well, let's find something that's a little more authentic for you and work on your belief system that's real.
Rick, I want to take you back now because let's go back to Herostock. Let's go back to your booth, your little mobile recording studio, and someone like myself walks up and asks you about the services that you provide. Maybe you can talk a little bit about, if you were to just encapsulate what it is that you offer, how would you describe that?
It's very I've had marketing companies that can't do it. We do deep work psychology that goes against the general norm today in every single capacity. My psychology does not create dependency. I teach warriors.
Yeah.
I will teach you to be able to fight it without me. And so I train men to be able to able to go through their grief and learn how to grow. Now they can lead. And true leadership. I'll tell you straight up, my military people struggle a lot with leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And like, why? Because they weren't actually doing leadership. And like, yes, I was doing leadership. I was like, really? Who was your commanding officer? They're like, well, I had this guy. Then who was his commanding officer? This guy. Who was his commanding officer? This guy. I'm like, who's leading? Well, I was leading this platoon. On whose orders? Well, this guy's orders. When who said what? When that guy told me to do it. Like, I'm like, this isn't you creating structure. This isn't you creating leadership. You come home, there is no CO. And they're all like, I don't know what I can do now. They're telling me what to do the whole time. Like, I will lead, but no one's telling me what I'm supposed to do to lead. And I'm like, you don't know how to. You are actually following orders. And so when you get into, you have to create structure. It's very difficult. And it's not an insult. It's an observation that keeps coming up.
And here's the other thing too, as you say that, now you're looking at that from a military perspective, someone who's got experience in the military. But what about civilians? Are you finding the same types of challenges? Undoing a lot of
who's a civilian CO? I'll tell you what's a civilian CO? Parents, teachers, bosses, spouses.
Yeah.
Who's real life? Matthew, you're at home right now. Who's your CO? You're like, I got to go ask her what she wants.
Oh yeah, household 7 upstairs.
Yeah. And so you're saying like, who's our CO at home? And this is really tough because like a lot of my ladies aren't built for leadership at all. In fact, they don't do safety security and they don't build structure, but they sure do make a home if you have those things. And so we all have a job to do. And a lot of times people pass those jobs off and wonder why it's not working. Most people have no idea how to truly lead. They've never done it before, and nor have they ever seen it before. I'd even challenge both of you guys. How many really, truly healthy men/relationships do you know? Mind, heart, body, spirit, with high awareness, high acceptance, high accountability, high authenticity. They're doing well in health, wealth, love, balance, purpose. They're solid across the board. And they're like, I am authentic to the core and I am truly me and I am balanced. There are no disorders. My kids are solid with me. They come to me when they're going through hard things. And like guys, who are just unshakable, because I meet some of the baddest physically. And then you see how they are, and they're like, dude, inside, I'm all shut down. My heart is broken into a million pieces. I'm actually not okay right now. And you're like, dude, you have it all together. That's the shell, bro. No.
Yeah.
Get in here a little bit. We're crying together in a second. And it's like, how many people do you know really have it all together? And then change hats. You got work hat, spouse hat, dad hat, brother hat, friend hat. Start going through all the different elements of how we are. How many people do you know, A, are really solid for themselves, and then B, man, they got a relationship that is true love. They've got it. That's the real thing. I'll give you guys a whole hand, but let me know when you can fill it up.
No, on this.
Oh yeah, yeah, no.
On this program, I asked the question, so no. When we come and guest on your, and I've sat in the hot seat with you before, so
No, it's good, Tom.
that is
No,
really
we'll
a
talk
good
about control issues. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
okay. Let me throw my next question, Mr. Psychologist.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, at some point, you figured out, you know what? There's a real need to do this, and even just this last a few minutes, compelling evidence that a program like what you're talking about needed to be developed. What is it that brought you to that point where it's like, I got to do this?
It's a need. That's why. It's a need. I'm not doing it because I want to do it. This is a calling. Even the
is it
community.
just repetition of you've
I
encountered
wish.
types of relationships, and it's kind of like, you know what, this is, I can help in this area. And I'm just, because not, I mean, maybe there are a lot of people who have a similar skill set as you, but for you to step forward and deliver in such a powerful way, like a way that is just hard to turn away. It's like, I'm all ears as you're speaking. But really, is there a breaking point where it's kind of like, I'm changing my life to do this type of work? What was it that got you to that point?
I had a fitness company before this. I was doing just a mile a day to get people motivated. Just start doing something. Just do 1 mile a day. That just gets you started and cheer each other on. It was motivation and inspiration and just connection. It was just for fun. Like, let's just do something fun. And it got pretty big. It was pretty good. And it was good. And then I started seeing people have behavior that they would do good and then fail and then do good and then fail. And then they yo-yo back and forth. And I started going, I have to study what's going on here. Why are we doing this? And I got into more human behavior. And then I got really deep into pattern recognition. I don't know if you know about like the different gifts from God, but mine is high discernment. I can see through real quickly. And I don't know how I can do the things that I can do. This isn't something that I just am just born with this. Something has happened that unlocked this ability that I can see through your immediately. And I don't know how I can do it. I have skills that I can't even teach. And I've tried for years to go, I'll try and teach you what I'm doing. And they're like, we can't do this. Something is unlocked when I connected to God to make it so I can do a gift that makes no damn sense. And from that, I have been building programs. We can beat depression in 1 hour. And I have 40 case studies now of people who were deep apathy. They were not, I couldn't get out of the house. I've been on medication for years. I've been recording all of them because people make these audacious claims until you can actually see it done. And then even still, it's a miracle. No, it's not a miracle. There is a strategy to it. My psychology attacks. We go forward. I don't teach you to medicate. I don't teach you how to manage. I'm not going to teach you how to just cope. We're not coping. We're killing. This doesn't need to be there. Anxiety, beatable. Addiction, beatable. We take out the core. You don't need to distract anymore. I don't need to drink if the pain isn't there. So let's go get the pain. Warriors go toward the noise and we get the problem out. It doesn't matter what you come up to. We just cured agoraphobia for a guy. Fear. We beat doubt directly so you can find purpose and meaning. I'll show you exactly how to beat deception because you can't fireball that. You have to use water, but I can't tell you anybody who knows how to beat deception without punishment, which also isn't beating it, it's perpetrating it. You have to learn how to handle these things. And if I challenge people to do the most difficult thing that is necessary for human connection, which is blessed are those who mourn, do you know how to grieve effectively? And if you do not know how to grieve effectively, your entire identity is going to be based on loss and trauma, which means you are identified as a broken person. You don't have to be. We can heal this, but most don't know how. So what do? I train. There are only two kinds of people in this world. You're either trained or you're untrained. You either know how to do it or I have no idea how to do this. That is it. So I teach people how to do it. When you train with me, you will beat the out of the conversations with your therapist and your psychologist quickly. I have people who have been in therapy 10, 15 years, and they say, I've gotten more in 2 weeks with you than I have in 10 years with them. They end up going in there. I've had their therapists come in and go, the people you're working with are knowing more than I do. I have to meet you. Why? This isn't because of certifications or degrees or books. The thing that we have to challenge for everybody right now, I do not care what school you went to. There's one certification that everybody needs to challenge to see if it works. Competency. Are you actually good at this or not? I don't care what your degree or your certifications are. They are irrelevant. I know people with lots of degrees who are incompetent at their job. So we have to challenge competency for everybody, which is why I say, ask me any serious question on any topic that really matters, and I will promise you I will answer directly on what it is that you're looking for. And even the thing with Matthew's armor, I can show him in the next 5 minutes how he doesn't need that, and he becomes the deepest connecting father, husband, and brother because he doesn't have to walk around like Iron Man all damn day because he's a good damn man, and it only takes him 10 seconds to be able to go like, hey, there is danger. Let me get my suit to kick everything's on. And you're like, that took a long time. It's because I got extra pieces on. I had the seconds. But this is why I have 2 books coming out this year. They're very difficult books. 2 books coming out. One is The Map Out of Hell. It's the answers that I just broke down. And I got this map of discernment that came in the middle of the night. God just said, do circles. And I started doing circles for human behavior. And I put it together for how does it work? And then I sent it to every expert that I know. I sent it to every theologist, psychologist, coach, authors. I'm like, check this out. I had Anthony Dahlman Jones. He's written 6 psychology books, and I sent it to him. I'm like, break this apart. Is this or is this legit? And he came back. He's like, where's this? I'm like, it's in here. He's like, where's this? I'm like, in here. Where's this? In here. He's like, yeah, it seems right.
Is he a mentor of yours?
Yeah, he mentored me for probably a short time. Yeah. What he did was highly impactful for me in a very short time. And it was just us talking. And he very quickly realized, he's like, you are not the same as all these other guys that come up to me. He's like, you're something different. And it was he was a very key component to me completely removing doubt. And so now that was the thing that had me down the most is you're not good enough. No one will listen to you. You don't matter. Shut up. Like nobody cares anyways. Like the doubt element of it. And once I had his final component, I can have coffee with doubt right now and we can talk for hours.
Hey, I want to go back to the types of individuals who might be candidates for your program. Do you find that most of those individuals will willfully come to you, or does someone have to push them towards you? How does that work? How do you get someone into your program?
There's a few things. I want to show you something. Here's my first book I wrote. We wrote a book called Everything is a Choice. I teamed up with Dr. Orrin Cox, PhD. Turns out I didn't even have to. I wrote 95% of the book. And so like now look how this thing works. I didn't even need my buddy to add his 2 cents. And PhD doesn't matter on the book. Competency does. And so when we wrote Everything is a Choice, it really comes down to willingness. Do you really want something different or not? Do you want to do better or not? If you don't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If somebody pushes you in, but you don't want to do it, you won't do it. If you get in and you're not really willing to do the work, then you won't. And so the number one thing I have to measure on if somebody comes in is like, do you really want things to get better? If you don't, it's irrelevant what the training is. Like, and so that's the real question when anybody comes in. It doesn't matter how they got there, what they're there for, or what it is. Are you willing to do anything about it? Because if you're not, there's other communities I'll send you to where you guys can spin in circles and talk about nothing.
Once you get them into your program or programs, there's to me, it's got to take a significant amount of time to get these individuals through the training, as you call it.
It does.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you watch for when you see that there's change towards improvement or it's not meeting expectations? What are some of the things that you might be able to share with us that you look for?
I don't put expectations on people. Rule number 2 is no blame, no shame, no judgment. I don't put expectations on people. I give opportunities to people. That's how God works too. He doesn't just push you in to do it and you have to do it. He's like, it's right there when you're ready, dude. Free will's part of this game. So it's not about blame, shame, and judgment for somebody not meeting my expectations. It's about awareness and being like, do you want this to get better? Or are you going to stay stagnant for a little bit here? I'll love you through the whole thing either way, but you're going to start getting passed by other people. We train every day in the Warriors Way mindset, every day. Most groups that would be considered under coaching or whatever it would be, you'll see them maybe once a week. Very rarely you see the guy who built the entire thing. I'm there every day. I work every day directly with the people. There's Spartan creeds and things that we operate under. He who sweats more in training will bleed less in war. Mm-hmm. And so we train more than any other group that I know. Why? I'll give you opportunity to grow. But the thing is for human beings is you may know the answer, but that doesn't mean you're going to do the solution. Most people don't understand that. I'll show you what I mean. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
The Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube. Is this one solved or unsolved?
That appears to be solved.
Here's to be solved, right? The solved Rubik's Cube. That's the answer. I know what it's supposed to look like when it's done. I'm like, cool. All right, you're up. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's solve the cube. Yeah. So spin away. Just a
whole bunch of spinning.
And you're like, I know what it's supposed to do. Like, I know it's supposed to be all the colors are the same on each side. I know that, but mine's not doing it. But I do know what it's supposed to do. And you'll watch experts out there who are like, listen, man, I've got the cure. I know how to fix all your problems. You want green? Green is for a solved cube. I've got green. And you're like, bro, what's going on with the rest of your cube here? The rest of it is not. The rest of your cube's kind of. Wait a second. Wait, did you peel one of these off? I was like, yeah, I was trying to cheat a little bit. We're not. Let's just talk about. Let's just talk about the greens, though. Let's just talk about the greens.
Yeah,
I'm like,
just pay attention to the greens.
Wait a second, man. You don't know how to solve your cube. You got lucky and got one side, didn't you? You're like, motherfucker, yeah. But well, I still am going to solve. I'll solve the rest of it. I just don't want to turn the green. Oh, I don't like to turn the greens off. Okay, I'm not going to do it. And you're like, you know, you can't solve the cube unless you turn the greens again. You know that, right? Like, no, I won't do it.
Yeah.
You know the answer, but you're not going to do the solution. And so I see a lot of people will do a lot of work and maybe get one or two sides, but then not have the courage to turn the other sides off to be able to solve the cube completely. It's one of those things where you see so many people like Matthew. I had my armor up because I don't want someone to hurt me, or I don't want someone to do this. I'm worried about how that outcome would go. A trained warrior is going to go, hey, here's my cube. And somebody's going to go, hey, fuck your cube. And you're going to go like, oh, shoot. Don't touch my cube. I'm like, dude, it's fine. We've trained to solve the cube.
Yeah.
I can screw it up as much as you want. I know how to solve it. You're not going to ruin my day on this one. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that's trained or untrained.
One thing I got to say, and I love, so as you're talking, I'm picking up on these statements and these quotes and these, I look at those things and I find strength inside those things because I believe a lot of quotes can kind of guide us in the right direction. And some of the best quotes come right from the Bible. Mm-hmm. Today, I was just thumbing through Facebook when I had a little downtime from work, and I come across a statement, and it ties right into what we're talking about here because it says, if you don't heal what hurt you, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you.
That's true.
You know, so like having this conversation with you and talking about these things, I mean, this is great stuff. I mean, I think I'm a prime candidate for the program, but like you said, I have to want to change where it doesn't matter.
Correct.
So let me ask you this, because I did notice too on your website, the training is not only offered to men.
I have a women's side, but we only train women on Wednesday. There's a direct reason for that, and my girl's involved in that. But there's a thing that I've noticed for the women's group. This is very, very different. Whenever I've had any home, and mind you, remember I play in the deep end of the pool. I play with the unhealthy. So
I've been warned. Yes, I know. I remember you saying.
I only play with, like, people come to me as far as this is important, and you guys can tell me if this is true or not true, but I've been doing this for almost 10 years now. I haven't met somebody who comes to me where they're not in crisis. I don't meet men unless every single thing that I thought would work hasn't worked. Like, I did everything I could think of. I did everything, and it still isn't working, which leads me to conclude there's something I don't know. Like, that's the only possible answer is there's information I don't have that I need. I don't meet any men unless, like, they're at that point. Just like when we don't go to the doctor until you're like Matthew, your arm is falling off. You're like, all right, maybe we should make an appointment. Like yeah. We wait until the last minute to be able to work on ourselves. And it's a really interesting thing that men are given this weird notion that we're stronger isolated. I'm like, since never, the phalanx itself is more powerful than any one warrior you've got. And so we're always stronger together, but we're taught not to seek connection, not to seek growth, not to seek togetherness, not to train as a unit. We're not taught these things. And so you think you're supposed to just know everything. No, for people to want to be able to do this stuff, you have to be able to have the courage to be able to go, I want to train with other people. We're a pack animal, and so in order to become the best alpha in your unit or your family, let's call it, in your home, you're going to have to train with other alphas. And so gathering the community has been vitally important, and being able to train people to have the courage to not stay isolated and stay alone has been really important. So I think it just comes down to this choice element. And I also may have kind of forgot your question a little bit too.
Right on. Let me hit the repeat button.
I love the honesty, brother.
I forgot where I was going with that.
I forgot.
Is this program for everyone?
It's not for everyone. If you're not willing to do the work, I don't train damsels, I train warriors. If you're going to come in here, and this is very important because the nice guys fall into this far more than the bad boys. The bad boys will at least tell me to fuck myself and pay their tab. The nice guys will steal. And so like, it's a very different thing. No, this is not for everybody. I train warriors. And if you're serious and you want to grow, and I want to learn how to, get abundance so I can learn humility. I want to get strength so I can be gentle. I want to be competent and capable. The si vis pacem parabellum. We use this concept. If you want peace, prepare for war.
Yep.
Well, that idea comes down to when you are a formidable person in mind, heart, body, spirit, people become highly diplomatic. So Matthew, if you're like, I got a problem with the Rick guy, he's a 4-time UFC world champion. Are you sure you want to just that dude up? Like, he also trained with like the special ops guys, and he was a UFC fighter. He's a 4-time champ. You're gonna just go fight that guy? You're like, maybe I'll tell him a couple things first. Maybe
I'll tell myself like so I can.
Yeah, I'll be like, well, maybe I'll ask a couple questions before we get into it. Then, like, you become more diplomatic when you understand that this is not going to be an easy confrontation, and this goes everything. If we're going to talk heart, if we're going to talk spirit, if we're going to talk body, if we're going to talk mind, and you want to have a mental conversation, like, let's check and see if this makes sense here. If you're talking to a formidable human being, you become more diplomatic, and this is why I train my men to be like, are you willing to put the work in to be formidable and undeniable in each category of our authenticity? Because if you're not, this is not for you. So is it for everybody? No, only for the willing, only for the ones who want it.
I feel like I've been upgraded today.
This conversation, it's inspiring stuff, powerful stuff you're talking about, Rick. And this is how you typically conduct your training sessions.
Oh yeah, I go harder than this when I train.
Powerful.
Yeah, if you're not passionate about what you do, why are you doing it?
It's a fair question.
By the way, I did want to ask you the resources that you have online, and there are an incredible amount of videos and reading materials. Is there a certain place that you can direct people to check out that information?
We've got a couple of things here. So you can go on any of the social media stuff. You can do any of that. I would suggest, though, the YouTube channel is probably where we have the most content that you can get, because we put full trainings and full things on there. So you can go through and watch like a full training. And I've been putting more trainings up. As long as my guys don't share anything that's personal, it's usually me talking, then I'll post them up and be able to say, this is what training looks like. If you guys think this was tough, I'll send you some trainings I do. I go hard on my fellas, but my guys love it because it makes us stronger together. And if you guys can endure the conversations I do, other things outside of this is like, dude, are we kidding? Like, this is not even a serious problem here.
See,
like,
I knew this was a serious conversation, but it really was enlightening and fun.
No, that was my fun mode, Tom.
Well, now
that was playful.
Yeah. Rick, it's been a pleasure. I know you've got places to go.
No, I have plenty of time. Let's keep going, Tom.
Oh no,
I love hanging with you guys. I got another hour.
Well, you have another hour. Oh God,
got another hour. Do they have another hour in them?
I was gonna say, if you got another hour, I'm taking like copious notes.
We're talking to Rick Yee of the Warrior's Way Mindset on a mission to unify men and even women and show how to be the warrior you were meant to be. Rick, I want to tell you, man, what a wonderful time talking with you. And yeah, you got to come back.
We train hard, but it's because you guys are worth training hard for. And so I would suggest check out the YouTube stuff, but go to Instagram or go to anything. Come and join the Discord section. There's a free area there to ask questions. You can talk to somebody you need to immediately. And it's very important to understand, because people want to say you're in a cult, you're in a cult, you're in a cult. It's I think the number one thing you have to do to be able to challenge to see if you're in a cult or not is, can you challenge leadership? Can you directly challenge leadership? And I encourage every guy to come in here and say, I got to talk to Rick, which you can get to. I do Saturday mornings free. I do open calls with guys, and they can jump in and do free trials and come and have a conversation with me. I think it's vitally important that you test the competency of the leader, because if I'm incompetent, do not put anything into this. And if you're ever in any group, I don't care if it's school or your church or your therapist or your psychologist or your boss or whatever, if you can't ask questions and you can't challenge, you're probably in a cult.
Good point. You're listening to the Round Table, where heroes talk. We'll be right back. I mean, I know you're talking to Jason about some things up for next year's Herostock, but if you're thinking maybe you can come back and spend an hour talking about things that you're doing in your program that might be something you can present, we'll give you the floor for sure.
Again, just ask any question and I'll help.
I like okay, so that would be a good
Ask
approach.
and
Ask
you
the
shall
question
receive.
with Rick.
Matthew 7:7.
Ask the question. All right, sir. Each year around the country, veterans enrolled at VA healthcare facilities compete in a local creative arts competition. The event includes categories in the visual arts division, creative writing, as well as the performing arts of dance, drama, and music. Local top winning entries advance to a national judging process, and first place winning veterans are invited to attend the National Veterans Creative Arts Festival, hosted by a different VA facility each year. Why do I bring this up? Because it just so happens that our own Matthew Jones entered 2 of his original songs with the Omaha VA, where he not only took first place for Burn Through the Shadows, but also another gold medal for Sideline. But it doesn't stop there. Matt also brought home a first place medal for People's Choice, too. That's an impressive accomplishment given the number of submissions he goes up against. I believe it's safe to say that we're in the company of an award-winning songwriter. With all that said, please give a warm welcome to Beatrice, Nebraska's singer-songwriter, Matthew Jones.
Started way back long ago on the day when it all began. Standing shoulder to shoulder with my brothers across the land. Fighting back tyranny wherever we were told. Now we're haunted by nightmares that just won't let us go. Say, wait a minute, mister, can you spare some change for me? I'm just a broken down mangy dog with war stuck in my teeth. Another day, another night, another year down the road. Another battle with the devil as he wrestles for my soul. So much for the story of how freedom's price was paid. I look up to the heavens and I hope he knows my name. Say, wait a minute, mister, can you spare some change for me? I'm just a broken down mangy dog with war stuck in my teeth. I hear them sing, I hear them cry, but I can't open my eyes. And I can feel the world carry me as I sway from side to side. You can hear the thunder, the rose falls to the ground. The bugle makes its final call and 21 shots ring out loud. Say, wait a minute, mister, can you spare some change for me? I'm I'm just a broken down mangy dog with war stuck in my teeth. Say, hey, wait a minute, mister, can you spare some change for me? I'm just a broken down mangy dog with war stuck in my teeth. Just a broken down mangy dog with war stuck in my teeth. I'm just a broken down mangy dog with war stuck in my teeth.
Next week, we've got a couple of really cool guests. First of all, we've got Kevin Gorin of Doc Goodbeard, and he's going to be bringing some of his beard products, something I'm sure a lot of us are looking forward to. And my good friend, Tulsa, Oklahoma's country singer-songwriter Jim Bachman, who actually started off doing music in the Phoenix, Arizona music scene. They're both here next week when we come back to the round table where heroes talk. For Matt Jones, I'm Tom Lamog. Good night.
The sun is fading, the storm is brewing, the winds are howling and the sirens are screaming loud. You better batten down. You better batten down. The water's rising, the tides are coming, the levees breaking as they run for higher ground. You better batten down. You better batten down. The world is turning, the ground is shaking, and all the buildings and the bridges come crumbling down. You better batten down. You better batten down. Batten down. You better batten down. You better batten down. You better batten down. Evacuating, the mountains changing, into the heavens is a billowing fiery cloud. You better batten down. You better batten down. The heat is rising, the smoke is rolling, and walls of flame rip through the forest ground. You better batten down. You better batten down. The hammer's falling, the anvil's singing, as bolts align and split the sky and dance upon the ground. You better batten down. Oh, you better batten down. Batten down. You better batten down. You better batten down. Oh, you better batten down. Batten down. You better batten down. You better batten down. Oh, you better batten down.
What's up, Herostock Nation?